All right, folks, it's time to kick off the 15th lecture in the DAO Dodo series. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? This is the third lecture. There are only 2 lectures left, and it is dedicated to discussing the importance of openness in various aspects of life. I believe that every person employed at Dodo Brands is familiar with the concept of openness. I have discussed it at length during lectures, but I want to dedicate a complete episode to this crucial word in the operation of our company throughout its history and its impact on our work environment. Because what is Dodo? If you inquire and respond in a single word, it is predominantly characterized by openness. This is truly the DNA key of our company. And honestly, I have no knowledge of any other company in the world at this moment that does not just use these words as empty rhetoric, which would go to such an extent in terms of openness, and simultaneously the company would have the same magnitude as ours. So I want to discuss openness again today. Actually, maybe a lecture is needed because we talk about it frequently and it is an important topic. But what is openness? What can be open? What cannot be? What pitfalls does openness have? What advantages does it give, let's say, in one specific location that we haven't talked about it anywhere else or at any other time in our previous discussions? I will commence by discussing the time and manner in which openness came into existence in a general sense. This particular movement first emerged and became prominent in the public sphere 18 years ago. Approximately 18 years ago, I made the decision to open one of my businesses in the year 2006 in the city of Syktyvkar, which is located in the Komi Republic, Russia. I was employed as a manager in an advertising agency during that period of time, and in fact, I made the decision to open my own business called Bookstore. I began searching. I became enthusiastic about this idea. I started searching for funds, calculating the amount I required to establish this business. In this location, you can observe, here I was performing calculations, creating different schemes. This is my genuine compiled 18 years ago, chart illustrating the flow of money. I visited the bank, but all the banks declined my request for a business loan. As a result, I opted to obtain a loan for renovating an apartment and utilize that money to launch my first business. However, 400,000 rubles were slightly greater in value than the amount of money at present. In my opinion, I reckon I've considered it twice, but it's still not sufficient to embark on a fully fledged business venture. When I began tallying, I came to the realization that I simply do not possess an adequate amount of funds for numerous things, particularly for advertising purposes. I made the decision that I need to find some extremely simple yet highly effective way to attract attention to the store. I decided to turn this business into a reality show. I decided to start a blog on the internet. I actually started it when social networks like VKontakte were not yet developed. Only VKontakte social network had just appeared. Practically no one used it. And I started a blog. It exists now. You can visit it at siluma.ru, and half of the blog is dedicated to my first business, a bookstore, and the other half to the rapid and dramatic development of Dodo. Here you see the initial entry I posted on the blog, and my intention was to honestly and openly discuss the business. It will be intriguing since the outcome is unknown to everyone, myself included, making it an interesting journey to follow. Will there be success or will I fail abruptly? I made a promise to disclose all the details. Everyone will be behind this. It will be interesting to watch. And my calculation was that people would be interested and they would come to the store because they will be involved. It will make the store famous. And I, in principle, was interested in this experiment because I understood that it is a powerful driver for me. Because when I write, I tell, I reflect, I somehow organize my thoughts, I receive feedback. And overall, it's enjoyable and intriguing. However, ultimately, this blog has not only become a phenomenon in advertising, but it has also shaped an entire perspective on life, and this complete transparency has had an astounding impact on my business mindset, on my identity as an entrepreneur and as an individual, and on the organization that I had the opportunity or necessity to establish, in which all of you currently contribute and collaborate towards shaping its future. In actuality, if I probably wasn't inclined, didn't think in terms of openness, didn't perceive any fundamental worldview advantages in it, I wouldn't have made such an advertisement of this nature and magnitude. So, naturally, all of this was established and built upon an internal database that served as the foundation for the entire process. During my time as a blogger, I encountered numerous unexpected developments and changes in the book industry. The business went in a completely different manner, and there were utterly tragic moments in the business operations. However, I comprehended that the blog did not provide me with the chance to simply surrender. Since you are public, you share your story, people follow you, they believe in you, and they provide you with their support. And just come and say, guys, no, that's it, I give up, hands down, a little bit hanging out, and I'm out of the game. I have just come to understand that the blog does not provide such an opportunity. Maybe if it were not for him, it would be much, much easier for me to slow down somewhere, to give up somewhere along the way. I am not aware of how everything would be in reality, but the block was exactly such an engine. However, in 2010, I left the book business, practically bankrupt and on the verge of financial collapse. You can find the history in the blog. You can read the book titled And Botanists Do Business. The book is about my initial business venture. However, the reality remains unchanged. In the year 2010, I was a business person who did not accomplish anything and had financial obligations. Nevertheless, I initiated the search for a novel business idea, and upon finding her, I had no doubt whatsoever that I should continue on my path of openness and transparency without hesitation or reservation. I understood that this is a powerful driver, which I'll talk about today. In reality, I penned down in my identical blog the notion of a forthcoming project, the notion of Dodo, which is an idea I have for the future. You have the option to go through the records from the year 2010 and read them. In actuality, these records mark the inception of the company we are presently in the process of establishing, which already has a workforce consisting of tens of thousands of individuals. I have maintained financial transparency since the inception of 2006 from the very beginning. This is likely to have come as a surprise and attracted the attention of people the most. It appealed to me because real money, the genuine aspect of business, is always intriguing. Do you know why Forbes magazine is popular? Because nothing attracts people like counting other people's money. Actually, it is quite fascinating because only a small number of individuals have truly demonstrated the inner workings of a business, and I took the initiative to do so. Throughout these 12 years, particularly at the beginning, a large number of people expressed skepticism, stating that we wouldn't succeed. It's an incredible idealism to be open. The world is a cruel place. It does not respond with any openness to reciprocity or show any willingness to give in return. No one in the world displays numbers. This is sheer madness. No one reveals the internal workings of the business and does not share any internal numbers. However, we have demonstrated through our own past experiences that it is indeed achievable to expand, to evolve into a considerably sizable enterprise, and to steadfastly adhere to this trajectory, maintaining an open mindset. So, what is openness? I frequently engage in discussions about it. What are the things that we currently have open and accessible at all times? In reality, every single thing is fully open and accessible in our company, except for what is currently in the process of being created and developed. These are a couple of projects that we have not finished yet, have not completed. We do not know what they will turn out to be. And some of our unique expertise in our technologies, which are unique and have been developed by us. Let me explain what it is. Here's the thing, should we make a specific formula, the recipe for creating our signature dough open, that is, not the composition, specifically the amount of grams we take when preparing the dough, the sequence, the specific temperature, Should we make it open to the public, allowing everyone to access and replicate our unique DAO, or should we keep it a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few? Should we make, for instance, an open scheme for smart delivery assembly as an example? We possess a clever delivery system at Drinkity which was invented and created by our colleagues, and she possesses some knowledge inside this device. There exists a particular assembly system. Is it advisable to conduct this openly? The answer is no, as these represent our valuable know-how and proprietary technologies that must be safeguarded, which enable us, at the time of their creation, to stay one step ahead, to gain completely fair and unbiased advantages, thus ensuring a level playing field for the development of these technologies that will shape our future. However, at the same time, we are prepared to share the principles that helped us create these technologies and that help us establish business, which assist us in managing the business, because over the course of 12 years, we have consistently and transparently shared the inner workings of our company and how it fosters growth. So you must comprehend the distinction between how and specifically what. When we established a certain level of expertise entirely, I believe it is illogical to make this dough recipe openly available, because it will inevitably be copied, which in turn gives our competitors a similar advantage, negating the benefits we initially gained. However, the way we create cool products, the way we create a company, we are ready to share this valuable knowledge and experience with others. Today, all of our lectures, which I am presently preparing, are being uploaded to YouTube because if it aids others in creating something, if it assists the world, other entrepreneurs, managers, and companies in creating some value, we will be only pleased, because by aiding others, it always comes back to us. Because you see, through the act of being open, by openly engaging in discussions about business, about how to create and effectively manage it in order to achieve success and growth. Throughout these 12 years, we have been fortunate to receive an overwhelming amount of support from numerous companies, individuals, suppliers, manufacturers, and entrepreneurs. They also sincerely, having received something from us, inspired, having received some insights, and if we assisted them in creating something, and not the same large number of companies, individuals came and aided us, desiring to assist us with something. And I believe this provided us with a significant advantage in the process of development. Why are we initiating the process of opening revenue? It's a radical concept, this idea of open revenue. You are aware that you have the ability to check the revenue of any pizza restaurant, any coffee shop online on our website through the internet. This is the website dotobrands.io. You can check the revenue of any specific point of interest on the platform. We also have an open table where the revenues of all pizzerias since their establishment are documented. Look, revenue is not a know-how. Revenue is not some unique created by someone where the labor of technology is invested. It is just information. And we are not afraid of it, even when we are told that, friends, your competitors will see your revenue, they will see that you earn a lot somewhere, you earn little somewhere, and they will come where you earn a lot and take away part of your revenue. And this is precisely the point, this particular example of our openness, that we are not afraid to show and reveal what our business consists of without any hesitation or reservations. Because in the first place, it is not so easy to acquire such revenue. You need to put in the necessary work and effort. In our market, you can't just come and open a point and immediately get the same results as our well-functioning pizzeria, which has invested a huge amount of energy, hours, work, partner's soul, team, pizza makers, everyone. But most importantly, this openness, when this revenue is open, it makes us think not about competitors, not about someone coming. She consistently ensures that we maintain our fitness. She prompts us to consider the clients as we comprehend the importance of continuously demonstrating our worthiness of this income and ensuring our guests choose to remain with us on a daily, hourly, and minute-by-minute basis. We comprehend that you should never relax. And this openness generates such thinking that in our industry, after achieving significant results, if the results are not openly shared, you can genuinely relax and lose the drive to strive for further success. I will talk about it later. See what openness has given to our business? In fact, if you put it briefly, she gave everything. I think so. Truly everything, because it's a fundamental thing that determines how everything operates, how everything is organized. And this is our perpetual engine. See what is a perpetual motion machine? This is what never allows the business to relax. Because if you are open, everything actually starts with the client, with the guest. If the business, if the pizza restaurant is open to the guest, then the guest will always ask questions if something goes wrong or if they need assistance with their order. The main purpose of our company is to create the ultimate value for our guest, ensuring that they receive the best possible experience and satisfaction. And the guest will always inquire with us about our business hours, asking if we are currently open. This constant movement and energy from the guest will persist. Our partners will inquire with us because in franchising, the mission of our business is to ensure the success of our partners. Partners will inquire, and we must provide a response to any inquiry posed by partners. Nothing can be hidden. And from the client's point of view, you see this kind of approach with the openness of philosophy allows to build, I would call it, a transparent brand. What does it mean? All brands probably can be divided into two types. These are transparent brands and manipulative brands. Transparent brands are the companies that genuinely believe in the products they create and have unwavering faith in their quality and value. They genuinely desire to create a cool product and have unwavering belief in it. Manipulative brand refers to those companies that create a product primarily for the purpose of selling it, and they do not have such product involvement. And here is just the philosophy of openness, the culture of openness. It does not give us any other opportunity than to build a transparent brand when we must always answer the question of what our products are made of, how our processes work, how much our employees receive, what our goals are, what our policy is towards guests. This commitment to transparency is fundamental to our values and guides every aspect of our business operations, ensuring accountability and trust in everything we do to establish a strong and lasting connection with our customers. In other words, as you can see, openness does not allow for the building of an opaque brand that lacks transparency and clarity. The total openness of this culture is what makes it unique. It determines actions and thinking. In this open system, every decision is made with the understanding that it will be transparent. This means making agreements and contracts with partners, as well as offering deals to suppliers, all while knowing that everything will be open. The emphasis on transparency in this culture fosters trust and accountability, driving the actions and decisions made within this system of openness. Or explore a potential venture in the realm of franchising, for example, as a viable option. You comprehend that if you are genuinely open, you have declared it, it genuinely functions, then you must demonstrate everything and clarify everything. And this puts a lot of pressure on thinking and action and does not allow any opportunity for manipulation. And in business, there can be many manipulations, even unconscious manipulations, when people do not want to deceive in any way, but somewhere they want to cut corners, somewhere they want to hide mistakes, and manipulations begin. And when there are no opportunities for manipulation in culture, a certain circle of trust is created. A circle of trust is established between the company, partners, team members, and employees, stakeholders, and investors of the company. All individuals comprehend that within this organization, transparency is paramount, and every manager acknowledges the necessity to provide comprehensive explanations and address any inquiries. This includes discussing potentially challenging matters, as certain decisions may not meet everyone's expectations. Nevertheless, it is imperative that we possess the determination, resilience, competence, and even bravery to openly communicate, assume accountability, and elucidate our actions. Trust, in fact. The trust that is created works wonders in business because the business starts to operate quickly. People understand that they trust. They start to think long term because a long term relationship is built. Decisions are made long term. And the speed of work and interaction. Everyone understands that trust builds partnership, leading to win win situations for all involved. All individuals start investing in this, and it generates substantial growth and returns on investment. Openness generates a field of free information. I will provide an illustration as an example. When the culture is open, individuals are not afraid to share information because there are no ideas, there are no these fears that you have at this moment revealed the revenue and some unforeseen catastrophe has happened, causing great concern and uncertainty. Information flows more freely, so a greater number of connections are made and new ideas emerge. I will provide you with an example. I think that one of the key factors contributing to the growth of the Dodo franchise network is our openness. We have always been accustomed to it in Dodo, but this is also true for all franchise networks, and perhaps even more so before Dodo. Currently, we have a significant influence on individuals, particularly Russian-speaking business partners and franchisees located on nearby streets, who are unaware of each other's revenue. There is a lack of transparency, and it does not enable or promote the exchange of information between parties involved. In Dodo, when people and partners came, it was a shock that it was open, but everyone quickly adapted due to the abundance of placebo. It appears that if you open something, something dreadful will happen. However, as people got used to it and began to understand that by seeing each other's profits, they cannot just envy, but also go and ask, why? How did you achieve this? Just motivates them that if their colleague neighbor from the same city achieves great results, then I can achieve those results too. I begin to work more effectively, and this resulted in progress, the growth of partners, the sharing of knowledge. The most powerful and potent growth factor enabled attracting investments as you're unafraid to share numbers. And what do investors invest in? They are invested in numerical values. And this bestowed upon us a tremendous advantage. Nevertheless, it is important to remember that every advantage comes at a price. Embracing openness comes with a cost. And yet, what is the price we pay for this openness, which has bestowed our business with numerous invaluable advantages? Firstly, when you are transparent, you must accept everything that happens with an open mind. You must be ready. What about the fact that both victories are open for everyone to see, and you will be lifted up and told how wonderful and cool it is, and it will motivate you, but when you fall and encounter crises, failures, and mistakes, you must accept them openly and learn from them too. And you have to explain, accept criticism. You do not need to work with doubts, because it is not an easy task that can be taken lightly. Because when I, for instance, attracted investments and we were experiencing growth and investors were making investments and there was a positive atmosphere, when something went awry, when there were errors, losses, it was also imperative to communicate about it. This is also part of openness, however. In reality, moods were changing and a large number of individuals were observing you. However, in actuality, you are able to work with this. This provides you must acquire the ability to acknowledge and learn from mistakes in order to grow and improve. When you make an error, it is the cost of being open. This is applicable to all aspects, including the work of the management company and our brand. If we made an error somewhere, messed up with the service or with clients, it is something that occurs. And recognition of mistakes is a strength, and it is a difficult task. It is not easy, but it, my friends, greatly develops and enhances the personalities of the company because it makes it exactly stronger. I would like to mention that the quality of being open has had a profound influence on me throughout the course of these 18 years that I have experienced. Acceptance of other opinions, criticism, the need for you to take responsibility, and the importance of explaining. In fact, life consists of making mistakes. You know that mistakes are knowledge, experience, it is completely normal, It is not normal to hide mistakes, because it is a weakness and it does not allow for growth. If you hide something, it does not cease to exist, but rather festers and can cause even greater problems in the long run. Openness undoubtedly requires explanations, efforts. Even in an open company, when you openly talk about something, someone comes and says, guys, well, damn, start asking questions. And sometimes it's lazy to do this, to answer these questions. However, this is the cost of being open, because indeed it requires time, patience, and frequently necessitates intelligence. One must be clever in their responses. Clever. At this moment, I'm going to share a story with you, purely as an illustration, as a specific instance. This concerns our openness with clients. Once I saw such a case that one of our guests, there are millions of them, asked in a social network, what is the composition of pepperoni? And one of our employees, who was employed in the customer support department, took the initiative to respond to the inquiry. He made a request for a photo of the stickers that are on the platform at the pizzeria and simply responded by posting a photo of this sticker. The sticker indicates the composition at the pizzeria, but the exact details are unclear. As I started to investigate, there was a strong reaction from the clients. They all raised concerns and made a big deal out of it, pointing out that at Dodo there are only E in the pepperoni, despite the fact that there are actually other ingredients besides E. However, these so-called E ingredients were present in the pizza. And they told me, Fedor, we're an open company, so what should we do? This is openness. Here we're open. We need to be intelligent because we need to clarify. Yes, we comprehend that openness necessitates explanation. If I go out tomorrow and inform our shareholders, I don't know, for example, or said 2 years ago that we closed China, goodbye, and didn't explain anything, didn't explain the logic, didn't explain what conclusions we drew from this, why we made this decision, or the reasoning behind it. Yes, that would be foolish openness. Openness should be intelligent. And here, of course, it was necessary to truthfully write the composition in a parony. You could have written the full composition. There is nothing scary about this, because any ingredient that is mass-produced has, conditionally, E in its composition, because it simply does not exist. However, you have the option to state that it truly was a commendable sausage, and we genuinely triumphed, handling a large-scale product, striving to maintain the cost within our means, yet collaborating with suppliers to ensure the use of high-quality ingredients, and this ongoing process will always be a priority for us. This is not an easy task, but if you perform such a copy-paste without thinking, it definitely leads to a wrong perception. You also need to work with it. Collaboration is crucial. And finally, ending my small lecture today, but important, friends, openness is truly the basis of the company. It is a whole philosophy. Dodo, because many good things are all good things, they generally grow because of this openness. New employees and colleagues arrive at our company and express their astonishment, saying, wow, I can't believe it. I've heard so much about your company, and it's exactly as I imagined. This is one of the reasons, and we grew up with it. This is our openness, which is maintained and protected. Openness is a path that, on a personal level, aids in personal development and brings happiness. Why is it important? Because when you do not need to conceal something, when you immediately think that by taking action, something will be accessible in order not to generate any issues, you are truthful with yourself. It provides you with a sense of calm, confidence, and happiness. Throughout our history, we have demonstrated that this path is achievable, and I desire for openness to continue as our everlasting driving force, the everlasting driving force of our company. Thank you.